Hi there. I'm Amelia from Black Sun Farm in Connecticut, and I'm here to talk about early spring greens. I'm a professional foraging instructor and an herbalist, and I want to explain to you how going out into your backyard and foraging for some wild foods, some very common wild foods that you can probably find, are going to help you break out of that stagnant, thickness from the winter time. Because we're getting into longer days and sunnier days, and we want to feel amazing compared to being all huddled up and cold in the winter. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. When you get into, hopefully you've got a backyard. If you don't have a backyard, find a local park that hopefully doesn't spray toxins or anything. But what we want to do is, how all winter you're eating thicker, heavier meals like soups and stews and but like what's a big meat dish? Maybe turkey or a beef Wellington or something like that. All those thick, heavy things that are high in fats. What that's doing is just kind of it sits in your system. And because it's cold in winter, you're probably not getting outside as much as you ought to move your body around and get that stuff out. So what we want to do in the springtime, and this has happened for thousands of years, you get to the point of spring and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get out. I can't wait to get out there and eat some greens. I really want to eat a salad. By the end of March, you know how badly you're jonesing for a salad? This is because you want to support your bile production, your liver, your kidneys. You want to support your body's natural organs of detoxification because that's what you're doing in the spring. You're detoxifying from all the thick, heavy stuff that you were taking into your body over the winter. Anyway, so that's one of the first plants that pretty much everybody knows and that you can easily find is dandelions, right? It's one of the first things that comes up in the spring. Now, there are a lot of edible spring plants, and I'm going to go over a couple of them with you, but you can eat all parts of the dandelion. The parts that you're looking for the purpose of spring detox is going to be the aerial parts, which is mainly the leaves. If you get a couple of flowers in there, lucky you, because the flowers are sweet and they're delicious, but you're mainly looking for the leaves. The leaves honestly taste the best. They're a little bit bitter, but that bitter flavor, the bitter greens, any kind of bitter greens that you can get a hold of in the spring is what you really, really want, because that bitter flavor stimulates bile production, stimulates your liver to get going, and it stimulates your body to start pushing all of that gunk out of your system. Okay. So anyway, dandelions are, the leaves are kind of specific for supporting your kidney function, but again, in the springtime, it's really like in a couple of different cultures, it's tradition to eat dandelion salad first thing in the spring because of that detoxifying effect on your body. Let me show you. Let's share the screen here. So you're going to laugh at this. Hey, concrete. Dandelions love concrete, right? So that's one place you're going to find a dandelion. I don't usually recommend you harvest dandelion out of concrete or stone because that dandelions are really great bioaccumulators, which means that they have a deep taproot that soaks up all of the toxins and junk from the ground. You can actually use dandelions, just like I think sunflowers or another one. They use them to clean up toxic dump sites because they are so great at accumulating. Like they basically suck all that bad poison and stuff out. So you don't want to be eating a dandelion out of your concrete, but this is the best picture I can find on short notice that was in my repertoire. This was growing in my front porch. If you can find them in your lawn, you can find them in your garden. I honestly encourage dandelions to grow in my garden. I love having dandelions growing in my garden. It helps. They get much bigger, much thicker, and the leaves get larger. So you want to snack on a couple of them. You could snack on them raw and fresh like that, or there's a recipe here. I just want to make sure that this is actually sharing. Yep. So this is a recipe for dandelion salad. You need a large bowl of young dandelion leaves, 1 to 2 cups of small potatoes for this one, and 1 to 2 cloves of garlic, 5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, some pumpkin seed oil or olive oil, and salt. I actually had seen a recipe from Jacques Pepin, the French, famous French chef, with it was dandelion green salad, so fresh dandelion greens, but he had made what looked like, what is it, a Caesar salad type dressing with anchovies, and it looked so delicious. So you might want to look that one up. I think you could find that on YouTube. But you're basically really focusing on the greens, chopping them up, wash them off if they look dirty, especially chop them up, stick them in a bowl, maybe throw a couple of the flowers in there too. You can eat the whole flower if you want. And the dressing is really what you want to, be focusing on, because you're trying to, you still want to get the bitters, but you don't want it to be just bitter. You want to expand your palate and make that a fun experience. So yeah, look for some kind of really great dressing, and then make yourself some dandelion salad. You can cook dandelions too. Like basically, you cut it from the ground up and just chop that whole thing and throw it in a stir fry with some bacon fat or something. Let me share another, because that's the best thing you can do with dandelion, and for springtime anyway. Here's another one. You might have seen this in your yard, hairy bittercress. So Cardamom hirsuta, I believe, is the Latin name of this one. And this is like absolutely everywhere in my yard. It likes kind of crappy sandy soils, and it grows super duper fast, super prolific, tons of it all at once, and then it all goes to flower. The best time to eat this is before it flowers, if you can get it before the flowers come up. But because then it's like spicy. It's spicy and tangy and a tiny bit bitter. They call it bitter crust, but it's really not that bitter. So, but this one is another one you could throw in your salad. You could chop it up and stick it on your sandwich for sprouts. You can stick it into a stir fry, you chop it up and put it into eggs, anything like that. And it's absolutely fabulous, nice and spicy. And there's a lot of the plants like that in that family, in the cress family. So here's another one. This is Allium vineale, also known as field garlic. This particular website says that it's in the UK. I couldn't find a good picture on my in my Google Drive, but they say apparently it's crow garlic in the UK. But field garlic, it looks like scallions growing out in the middle of your yard, basically, and that's kind of what it is. It's actually in the garlic family, so it's not actually. I mean, they're all alliums. But it tastes like onions. It tastes just like scallions. You can chop some at the bottom and just get the greens for the top. I like to take that and put it onto a baked potato, or I also will take them, put them in eggs. I make a green salt, so I chop a whole bunch of them and infuse them with some salt to put use all winter long. And if you really want to, you can dig down and get these cute little tiny white bulbs, and they look like little mini onions, and they taste like little mini onions. So you can make a wonderful, side dish, or again, really great on scrambled eggs first thing in the morning if you want to get something like that. And then you're incorporating that wild food into your diet. And again, the wild greens are always going to be higher in vitamins and minerals than any of the stuff you get at the store. I don't know if I've said this to you before, but it really is. They're phenomenal powerhouses of nutrition. So there's one more plant I wanted to show you real quick here, and that is cleavers. Cleavers, Gallium aperine. Some people call it sticky willy, because when you walk by, it just kind of grabs onto your clothes. It's got these little tiny hairs on it that are similar to like the seeds on burdock. So very much like Velcro. You want to get it before it flowers if you can. It can get up to 2 or 3 feet tall. Nice. I usually harvest it when it's like about 1 foot. And I grab as much as I can and I stick it in a blender with water and I juice it, basically. I make a juice with the cleavers. If you have a juicer machine, go for it, but I don't. So I just stick it in a regular blender with some water. And cleavers are a phenomenal lymphatic cleanser. Okay, they help boost your lymphatic system. It's also really great, just as an aside, because this is a really cooling plant. You can take some of that juice and put it in an ice cube tray and save the little ice cubes. So like for over summertime, if you get a sunburn, take one of those ice cubes out and rub this all over your sunburn, and it'll heal your sunburn. It'll cool it, obviously, because it's ice, but it's also because of the cleavers, it'll help heal the skin. So this, I keep some of this in my fridge all year long. to help boost my lymphatic system, especially again at the end of winter, the end of the season. You're feeling all stagnant and down and full of junk. Your lymphatic system does not have a pump. The only thing that will pump lymph through your system is movement. You have to move your body around. That's why I'm like, get out and walk, and harvest some wild foods. Yeah, cleavers, if you're not able to move as much as you want, or you have to be indoors for a while or something like that, or you're really, really sick, having that cleavers juice can help. It'll help support your kidneys, it'll help support your urinary tract, and it'll help move that stagnant lymph through your system to cleanse your body out. Because again, spring is all about detoxification and starting over anew, right? So we want the cleavers, we want all of those great things. And give yourself a great boost for springtime. Whatever you can manage, wherever you can find any kind of wild foods that are, again, not sprayed with Roundup or toxins or anything like that. City foraging is possible if you're in a city. You just have to look. You have to be very careful where you look. One of the things I would think is a good place to look, actually, is if you're in a city. Those big planters. A lot of times you'll walk past, or you'll be walking down a city block, and there's like a tree here, and then half a block another tree, and then half a block and another tree. They don't usually spray around those trees. I guess some cities might, but they don't. If you see a dandelion in there, I mean, you got to watch out. Maybe a dog peed on it. You don't want to eat anything that a dog peed on. But if there's those raised planters, they've got some petunias or something hanging out of it, you might sometimes catch some wild greens in there as well. So it's all about having your eyes open and knowing how to recognize the signs of those wild greens that you can find just about anywhere, and paying attention to what is under your feet. Whether you're in your backyard, out in the woods, out in a city or in a suburb, wherever you are. Honestly, I find things in parking lots sometimes. It's not really the best place to forage. If it's your only option, go for it. But I'm just saying that's the prevalence of wild foods is absolutely everywhere. And you don't want to miss this point in time. You don't want to miss this season. So hopefully that has helped you. Again, my name's Amelia from Black Sun Farm. You can find me at blacksunfarmct.com. And I am happy to teach you herbalism, gut health, and foraging anytime you want, especially if you are in the northeastern United States. So thanks. Good luck and happy spring.